Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to start out with some breathing here. Take a moment. It's Sunday, January 29th, and wanted to include that first sunrise for you today. Just find a moment of calm. Find a moment of calm. One moment of calm in the chaos can create change. Find your breath this morning. Notice your breath. Breathe however feels comfortable, but if you can begin to breathe through your nose, in through your nose. And while there's different ways to breathe, I like to pause. The pause is actually there every time, but when you notice it or you can elongate it, like you breathe in through the nose, let your belly expand. Pause, then breathe out. It's that letting go. And every breath is a metaphor. Every breath is a metaphor for life. It's content, no content. Striving, letting go. And I think the letting go part is the tough part. Because we are programmed to achieve, acquire, gain more content. We're programmed for that. And it's the balancing. I had this quote I created, I shared it. It's learning is not complete without unlearning. Learning is not complete without unlearning. Good morning, Ivy. And by the way, a little footnote for those of you that are joining the live stream. We are streaming to Austin J. Haynes' speaker, author, mentor page. And just a quick little public service announcement. I am separating my personal from my public for right now. So that's the plan of action. So, and the reason why is a number of reasons, but mainly I want to have a central place where all of this type of content goes to. Now, of course, if you're listening in on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku, I don't know when you're going to get this, and maybe you're on YouTube, but we're going to continue to work on our distribution, how we get the message out there, and going to the public platforms, I felt is the way to go moving forward as we scale, because then we can scale bigger than the personal. The personal is limited in the Facebook world. So welcome wherever you're finding this. I just want to give you a warm welcome this morning. I have some great content for you this morning. Now, some of you, just as another footnote, if you are in the live stream, the best place to go is probably either YouTube or the Austin J. Haynes speaker, author, mentor page, because you'll be able to share in the chat. All right. And if you're on one of the private groups, we may not be able to see your chat. But if you know DJ, Duchess DJ Love, she's in the green room, gallivanting like a royal, is one of the sponsors of the show. You can reach out to her and she can maybe get you pointed in the right direction. I have an incredible show for you today, and full transparency, I wasn't sure what I was doing today. And how many times do we feel unsure? We have to know the answers all the time. I have to know. And the more I do this, it evolves in me, the ability to live in the moment. I think that's an art. It's something that we must cultivate continually. And I have some great content to share with you today that is going to help do that. I'm going to be taking you from the winter in Haddonfield, uh, Burlington County, New Jersey, all the way down to Florida. I got stuck in Hollywood, Florida, coming back from Costa Rica. I talk about trust. I ended up in the almost not quite in the middle of a wedding, but you're going to hear there was a wedding happening. I, and it just reminded me the power of living in the moment. I know you're going to enjoy this. What's required of you? Really nothing. What's required of you is just to be in the moment. Allow this to unfold. But what I will do in order to set this up today, and that this is, God, if there's a secret, I would say this is it. One of them. The ability to, thank you so much, Ivy. I appreciate that. I really do. What I've realized, taking the power of pure presence and then making it a practice. This is not going to meditate for an hour. This is not some woo-woo thing. It's about taking the power of pure presence and implementing it into our lives. Because if we don't do that, then it's just simply an hour on Sunday or however long you listen. But what I want you to take away is something so subtle and so powerful that it could change your life. And that is the ability to take a moment of awareness and simply expand it. And I often say it's when the seemingly insignificant becomes significant. So at the course of today, notice the content, notice no content. Notice your moments of observation, pure observation. Notice your moments of judgment or projection. Because even in the space of no content versus content, you're observing something, right? But there's something powerful in a state of pure observation that has become transcendent to me. So let's just start out. I think I'm just going to work my way backwards. Let me start out on my walk yesterday. I was on a nature walk. And what I want you to do is just be in the moment with it. There's no sizzle here. It's just life. And the idea is to take the seemingly insignificant and make it significant. And it's transcendent, it's profound, and it's changing my life. It really is. So, and then we'll get your shares, but let me start out with this. Here we go. Did you feel any? Did you step into that scene? Did you like get out of the thinking mind and just be in the scene? I I got chills, and all I did, I was there yesterday, and just being in the presence. what is the quote? Adopt the pace of nature. Her pace is patience, right? So maybe DJ can help me with that quote. That was, who said that? Was it Henry David Thoreau? We'll get that quote for you. Adopt the pace of nature. And you are nature. And what we do as human beings, we get out of rhythm. We disrupt our own rhythm with anxieties and fears and things. And I was looking at the sunset, that sunset there, that sun breaking through the clouds. And then I didn't capture this, but I saw the most miraculous sky yesterday. And it was so beautiful. And it's a moment taking the seemingly insignificant and making it significant, because the dis-ease of the human race is to get somewhere else, never truly valuing where we are in the process of dis-ease. I am not at ease because I'm here and I need to be there. Now, everything's a paradox. Every truth is a half truth. So at the same time, that discontent that can arise in the present moment can also serve us. When we transmute that energy in the present moment to, or we use that discontent, let me step back, to use it as a catalyst to be in the present moment. So rather than being unconscious, discontent, need to get there, it's almost like, oh, there's some discontent in me. Okay. And then get into a state of pure observation. And that's the art. And in that process, something beautiful or something emerges. And I just love the process of that happening. Yeah, there we go. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Have you been, or have you not been patient with yourself? Causing yourself dis-ease because you have to get somewhere else. I lived so many moments in my life just to step on the present moment to get to the next moment. Step on the present moment to get to the next moment. You know, I lived 19 years on a quota. Lots of conditioning to get to the next moment, get to the next deal, get to the next thing, get to. And it's ironic that life goes, that energy creates a life that flies by and you're not living it. So Ivy's sharing, many times I feel unsure, but continuing to show up helps my own personal growth. And liken your purpose to the sun. You know, it's the sun doesn't think, oh, should I shine today? It just does. That's the energy that you want to harbor, you want to personify. I love the sunsets with vibrant colors. The other day, the sky was purple and violet, gorgeous. If anybody was in the Philadelphia region and you saw the sunset yesterday, let me know. I would love to hear it because it was extravagant. All right. I do have some content to get to. So I'm going to take you from winter in Haddonfield to Hollywood, Florida. You're going to love this. invite you to share this. This is really cool. But let me share with you this ability to step into the moment and allow it unfold. Um, I do my best to capture this on video and also be in the moment. So there's an energy here even in creating these videos. But here we go. Let's go to a winter's day in Haddonfield. I am sitting in a coffee shop and I look up and the moment just grabs me. It grabs me, and the seemingly insignificant became significant. And this is what I want for you. I want you to be aware of these things. And when the seemingly insignificant becomes significant, your life will become enriched in ways that you cannot put into words. So here we go. Let's go to winter in Haddonfield. Again, I'm sitting in a coffee shop. I look up and I see this tree. And here we go. That was winter in Haddonfield, and I looked up, and the sun was coming through this tree where the dead leaves are still on the tree; they didn't fall off, and there's a light wrapped around the tree, so you see the sun. And again, this is just a seemingly insignificant moment that becomes significant, and it's to create this practice of power of pure presence where we can capture these moments. And the idea is that if you can capture these moments and elongate them, add more richness to your life as it unfolds, and even the bigger moments become even more impactful. Good morning, Mandy. Good to see you on here. I know Mandy does this with, she captures a lot of nature as well. And it's just beautiful. And that's what we're using here is like, just to be able to embrace life. I'm going to pause for a moment because I want you to find presence. I want you to discover and cultivate it in your life today, this moment, and every day, and let life take on more richness, live more fully now. Just take a moment. No content here, just a moment to breathe. If you're just joining, let your lungs fill up. See if you can drive that air down deep in your lungs. Let your belly expand. See if you can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Maybe say to yourself, I live in the moment. I will live in the moment. I will live in the moment. I will live life more fully now. And when you're ready, you just open your eyes. And I want to take you to Florida. We're going to go down to Florida now. The message here is trust. This makes me smile. This is from Ivy Perez. This makes me smile because I look at leaves on a tree and feel it speaking to me and waving to me. Yeah, it's really interesting. Had this happen yesterday. This is really, there's got to be some kind of phenomenon, but I was in Costa Rica, and if you haven't seen those shows, check out the last couple weeks because they were really, lots of great nature, great present moments. But I was walking on this was during the zip line, and I was walking up this trail, and you see all this greenery and beauty everywhere. And this one leaf on a, like you see this here, like it would almost be like if one of these leaves was moving and the rest of them weren't. And I saw the one leaf moving and the rest of the leaves were still. And I just was like, wow, it just grabbed me. And I was like, that was so neat. Let me know if you've ever experienced that, because it's kind of a weird thing. But again, just noticing the moment, right? So we're going to go to Florida. I know you're going to enjoy this. I have a segment for you. And then I have a kind of a cinematography, like a montage of just to be in the present moment. That's really going to be awesome. But before I do, I want to just call out our sponsors here. We have Duchess DJ Love, gallivanting like a royal. She's in the green room now, spreading the love in the chat. Let's make sure you connect with her. And she has a book called Traveltude, and you definitely want to follow that. And she's got some other books coming out this year, but let me share with you the way to connect with her. Yeah, and the idea is that when you go to travel, and many of you have already traveled, most people, right? And there's something that happens when you travel. It pulls you into the moment. You don't have to think about being present. You're observing everything. You're looking around. You're looking at things in a way that allows you to go deeper. And I'm going to talk about this on a future episode, but I just uncovered an artist, and I'll bring this up. His name is Andy Goldsworthy. If you know who that is, let me know. But if you don't, I'm just going to explain to you what he does. He creates natural art in nature, and he's done it all over the world. But he has a place where he lives. It's this like brook or stream. And he's been going to this place for 30 years. And every time he goes back, it's different. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he goes back to the same place, but he gets a different perspective every time he goes back. And there's another quote. I'm going to ask DJ to pull this up. I think it's Seneca. No man or river ever stay the same, or no man dips his toe in the same river twice, something like that. And it's because the man has changed and so has the river. So we go back to life on autopilot. We're not present. We're just in the mind. We're not going deeper into life. And, and that's what I want this to do for you. So we're going to share a segment, and then, which is travel related. And then I got a beautiful montage, and then we'll wrap things up today. Yeah, let's grab the quote. Here it is right here. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he is not the same man. Is that Seneca? Is that Seneca, DJ? We'll get the credit of that quote. Let's go to the Florida video. I know you're going to enjoy this. So we were in Haddonfield. We were in the winter. Now we're going to go down to Florida, where it's actually a cool day. This is not a warm day in Florida. It was in the 50s, but it's beautiful. So here we go. Enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to another segment of Power of Pure Presence. And I want to talk about trust. Presence as a catalyst for awareness and trust. Before I do that, I'm going to share the backdrop here. I'm going to talk a little louder because I'm hearing the wind noise in the background, the water crashing on the banks of this beautiful lake. It's called T.Y. Park. I'm currently in Hollywood, California. The date is January 14th at the time of this recording. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Listen to the wind. Listen to the water. Allow it to bring you into this moment. Sometimes a few breaths, all it takes. It's windy, but it's beautiful. It's actually a little cold for Florida. It's in the 50s right now. And in an interesting turn of events, there's a wedding taking place behind me. I just heard the bride and groom exchange their vows. I didn't plan this. That's what I want to share with you today. This incredible day. So many. There it is. Wow. There's the audience cheering for the bride and groom. There's the music. Talk about trust. Oh, you know, I think it's a Christian and a Jewish person that got married. Because I heard them do the biblical vows and then the breaking of the glass. Well, the whole part of this is trust what shows up. And that's what I'm going to do. Miracles. Absolute miracles. It's absolutely surreal as I sit here and record this for you. It's just magic miracles. I am just so amazed, and I want that to relay. Will you open up more to life? Will you trust more? Power of pure presence, living in the moment. Coming back from Costa Rica, planning for our retreat 2024. 3-hour car ride at night. Get to the airport, plane is delayed. I have a connecting flight. I have enough time, but because the plane is delayed, it changes everything. Even though the pilot makes up time in the sky, it's not enough to get me where I need to go in the time that I need to do it in. Oh well. And finally get to Fort Lauderdale, which is the connecting airport, and it's a mob scene. Got to get through customs. I just learned to let it go, take care of the next logical step, what's in front of me, and then set an intention and let it go. And got through customs and talking to Spirit, trying to find out, directing me to the rebooking department, trying to figure out where that is. A sea of people. It's like a circus. I finally get to the line, and I'm waiting in line thinking, okay, if I can, because I had based on the delay, it created a 15-hour layover. 15 hours, I'm like, I want to get home. Been traveling all night, red eye, slept an hour. Finally get in the line, and the line is mobbed. Something clicks in my brain. What am I doing waiting here? I'm in Florida, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna leave and figure this out. I get an Uber. I like to go to coffee shops and work. I like to find local coffee shops that I can work out of. And I can't seem to find one, but I find one. Call the Uber drops me off at this coffee shop, and it turns out it's like a takeout only. It's chilly like now, and I want to be able to sit inside and get some work done. Now what? Well, I think to myself, let's just go with the Starbucks, because even though I like mom and pop places, let me go with the Starbucks. I know what I'm going to get there, and I know they'll be open, reliable. There's one about just less than a mile away. I punch it in, I'm hoping it's going to be here. So finally, the Starbucks is there, and it's right across from this beautiful park, which I'm going to flip this camera around again. So this happens to be right across the street. It's called TY Park, and it has to do with the Seminole Indians, I believe. We're here, this beautiful lake. So I'm going to flip it around again. I'm going to do a 360 for you. Right across the street. It's exactly what I needed. And I just decided to go with it. And this miracles open up, and then I take a walk around the lake. I walk past this couple. They have a French bulldog they're trying to train off leash. And I'm not the only one walking. There's a bunch of people walking. I see the dog. I walk past the dog. And then maybe like less than a minute later, I hear the couple calling for the dog. And the dog is charging right at me, this French bulldog. So I turn around and stop, and she jumps up on me. She's kissing my hand, jumping on me, and I thought, what the heck? You know, it's just amazing. And then I had that, and then I come here and I lay on this rock, and there's a wedding happening behind me, and I got to hear the vows. And I just reminds myself, you know, the power of pure presence is real. If we can rise above the human noise of the mind, be aware of it. Like, I'm not saying throw out your thoughts or anything like that. I'm saying be intentional. But I'm saying you don't need to react to every single emotion or thought that comes up, because during the process of this, I had some thoughts, I had some emotions, I had some frustrations in dealing with the Spirit airline. But it's that beautiful surrender I write about in the book Flashpoint.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm going to get up and dance now.
if you guys can, the family can go under the tree. They're going to be taking pictures of the family, all the family and friends
Under the tree. I don't know hope it's not this tree. He said all the family and friends taking photos under the tree. I wanted to share this with you, and I want to just remind you, trust. Trust. Even when that noise, you know, that noise of the mind is kicking up, the anxiety's kicking up, it's all kicking up. Can you trust? And I want to remind you, the pause and breathe, you know, when I started Power of Pure Presence, I didn't even have that in my mind. It was in the moment it came. And of course other people have said it, but the connotation that it's drawn into the show, and the meaning and the depth and the power of the pause and breathe has surpassed what I thought, you know, what it would be. And so I want to invite you to pause and breathe. On this windy Floridian day in Hollywood, Florida, this is Austin coming at you right off the Costa Rica trip, giving you another segment here and another reminder to pause and breathe. And what does that mean to you when you can pause and breathe and trust? And I want you to share your stories. I want to hear from you. I want to hear the stories where you paused and maybe you took a pause, you were able to breathe, and you know, you had miracles happen. You had miracles happen for you. So I want to end this right here. Look at this beautiful backdrop here. Yourself to surrender and trust to the forces that are greater than words can ever explain. And you've already have a trail in your life where things somehow worked out when everything seemed like it wouldn't. And that's maybe what you need right now. You need that deep breath, that deep connection to the inner self, to your creator, to trust and know that you're on the right path, that all things can move to the greater good. This is Power of Pure Presence. This is Austin. Let me know what your thoughts are on this segment. Type in the chat what you're thinking, what you're feeling, a moment when you were able to trust, when you were thinking that it wasn't going to work out, but a miracle happened that it did, because you trusted, because you surrendered, but you were intentional. Just type that in the chat, and I'll see you in the next segment. Welcome back, everyone. That was Hollywood, Florida. If you joined late, I was stuck in Hollywood, Florida. And I was saying, what would Duchess DJ Love do? What would gallivanting like a royal do? And hopefully I did her proud by taking that 15-hour layover. And it just speaks to power to her presence, being able to live in the moment. I could have never planned that. And I have another piece of footage here I'm going to share with you from Florida. Beautiful cinematography. I want you to use it for a moment to pause and breathe, to look at the surroundings. I don't know about you, but watching that back, even though I was there and I recorded it, I'm watching the water. Did you watch the water coming in? And it just kind of took me away. I'm watching that sun just flicker off the water. The waves are coming in. And I want to tell you that was a cold Florida day. It was in the 50s, but the wind was whipping, and I was able to find some sun there, and the sun with that contrast warm in my face, and just absolutely beautiful, 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 beautiful. So Ivy's got to share here about a time she did this. I have to think about a time when I paused and breathed, then a miracle happened, something to ponder today. Thank you for that question. So think about this. If you don't have the answer right now, it's okay, but maybe think about a time when life heated up in some way, something unexpected happened, and maybe you had like this reaction, but then you went and you paused. You took either in the moment, or maybe it was a day, maybe it was a week, but you were intentional about it, and you came back, and because of that, something opened up, something that you couldn't have planned, like the story here with the wedding and the beautiful backdrop there. Let's go to our other sponsor here, Miss Julie Gandy. I have her information here. Julie wrote a book, A Jersey Girl Finds Peace, and she's incredible healing personality, persona, and Peace and Love Amplifiers is her brand, and she just wrote a book called A Jersey Girl Finds Peace. I think I have that website. I'll see if I can do that, but let me just share the graphic. I personally went through a process with Julie that was transcendent for me. It was powerful. It was a powerful revisitation of the past. And in other words, the image, the perception of the past in my mind that changed, and it opened it up an even deeper place in me for healing, empowerment, increased self-worth. And it was amazing. And I attribute that to Julie. So you definitely want to connect with her. Let me pull the graphic up. And then we're going to go back to Florida here again. And then we're going to wrap the show up. We're going to get your shares. Whatever you want to share. Did you find a moment of presence here? Even if you found one moment that's worth it, you got something. You just were in the vacuum. Maybe you just took a breath and you're like, wow, I needed that. I needed that momentary pause. Okay, let's go to Florida, and I will give you some insight on Costa Rica too. I'll pull that up. We got some stuff happening there, but here's the Florida video I want to share with you, mostly unedited. Hope you enjoy this. Topekaji Agni Park, also known as the Gathering Place, or simply TY. Welcome back, everyone. That was cold. If you've been following along, I did the polar plunge on January 1st, 42-degree weather, 42-degree water, 50-degree temps outside. That was 76-degree water, but the temperature was 50 some degrees Fahrenheit with a wind chill. So when you got out, it was a different experience. It was really cold, but surreal. Why do I do it? It brings me in the moment, and I want to share it with you. I want you to get out of your head and grab these moments of presence. And so I want to say, Dr. Grant said, you think it's cold in Florida, come to Toronto. It's much warmer there. So gallivanting like a whale. Hello, Professor Grant. Another cold plunge. But what is this? What about you? Whether you've been listening on the podcast, you've been maybe eavesdropping on the live feed today, you've been, maybe you're going to find this on Apple TV, Amazon, or maybe you're on the Roku channel. We have our own channel on Roku. Wherever you're finding this, I want to make sure you connect with us. There's always an opportunity to connect with us in a more proactive way. Maybe you want to be on the live chat. I think I have a QR code in here. Let me just see if I can put that up. Do we have that, DJ? Yeah, I think we have this. Let me put this up. If you are listening on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, and you want to get more involved, you go to that website, my website, austinhaynes.com, and there's everything we're working on is there. We got the Power of Pure Presence. All the shows are there. We have a live event coming up, Flashpoint, manifesting the moment of your big breakthrough. We have a retreat that we're working on, and that we don't have the details of that yet, but I'm going to share with you another video on what we're planning for 2024. So let me go there now. Beautiful, right? And I love the shares coming in. And I love this quote by, or Dr. Grant put this up here. He said, the power of pure presence, enjoy the power of pure presence no matter where you are. Florida, Toronto, or Alaska. I prefer Florida anytime. Me too. And it's a little more difficult, but the cold does something as well. The cold. And I want to impart this to you. Can you be in alignment with the present moment? I can't, Austin. I can't. Can you be aware when you're not in alignment? You know what I mean? You do one of those. I had a moment this morning. Yes, I'm guilty. I was uploading a video and the phone just cut off. And I had a moment. I wasn't in alignment. And you're not going to be in alignment. But what you can do is to be aware of your lack of being in alignment. It's amazing because the moment you're aware that you're not in alignment, you transmute it to being in alignment. It's so subtle. And in other people too. And the more you tune into this show, it's my belief that you are going to transcend situations. This show is not here to take out the human experience, to put you in some utopian moment. That would be destination addicted. This show is primarily to bring you into the awareness of what is. And before we close, I want to give you the opportunity to final shares in the live stream and check in with yourself. Simply check in. And you may start with, what do you feel in your body right now? Like I'm feeling my legs here. They're bent. I'm sitting on this chair. What do you feel right now? And can you observe it and just be in a state of pure observation of it? Connect with yourself. Connect with the deep belly breathing. See if you can be intentional about breathing in and out through the nose as we practice all show. See if you can be aware of the moments you're not in alignment with the present moment or what's happening. And cultivate the art of living more fully now. This is where life is. Fulfilling life starts now. It's not at a future destination. I want to thank you for joining today. I appreciate you. And like I said, you can connect with us at any time. We'll get your final shares here, but we're right at the top of the hour. So I thank you so much. God bless you. Take this with you throughout the week. Pause and breathe. Notice what's happening in your body and see if you can be in alignment with it. God bless everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.